This is the Marty Sheargold Show.
Marty talking AFLW
Yes,
now.
we are.
From the Richmond.
Go on, mate.
Yeah, Richmond Footy Club. I was going to say Sarah Hosking is the studio.
Well, hello, everyone.
Lovely to meet you.
Well, thank you. You too.
Sarah, you're playing with the Richmond Football Club this season.
Go Tigers.
After having left
Carlton.
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 Was Andy Marr your runner at Carlton?
He was. I've got some ripper stories
Hard
of Andy
work,
Marr.
Andy?
Oh, always hard worker, Andy. Always a big smile on his face, and the poor thing, he just needs to put a little bit of work into those calves.
Oh, has he got skinny calves?
Skinny calves, but he will never forget. He was our runner on one game, and he's takes off the bench and, as fast as they come. And within 10 steps, he's done his calf.
Yeah,
so
it's
he's
an
just
old man
stopped,
injury.
hobbled. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and he's still young. I'll give him just in
His
case he's
daughter
listening.
plays, doesn't she?
Yeah. He's got three daughters, and they're all jumping into their footy. But their
loves it.
eldest she's doing
She's
really well,
handy.
like playing for Vic and that sort of stuff. So
Right.
yeah, she's flying.
I know
at
he's a massive ambassador for the AFLW. He loves it.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Even the time that I was at Carlton, and he still is. Even on the front bar and all that kind of stuff. He chats AFLW up all the time.
Yeah,
so
he's
it's
a good man, Andy Marr. You were at Carlton, you're now at Richmond, and you're also doing some sideline stuff for us, or are you in the box?
Special
Yeah,
comments.
special comments. So special comments, I know.
Yeah.
Working with Chris
Come with
Johnson
the
a couple
one
of
line.
weeks ago.
Jono, we have a good laugh. Joey Montagna a few times.
Hard
Daisy.
work, Joey, by all reports.
Isn't he?
I've
Always.
heard.
Loves telling us all about his stats, that's for sure. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I grew up a Saints supporter, so I
You'd be
let
about
him
the
know,
same
but-
height as Joey.
Yeah, close, same height, a few years different. So, no, it's very fun.
Are you enjoying it?
Loving it. I think my first year was with Triple M last year, and I did about 10, 15 games. And
Excellent.
then doing the same, sort of getting at least a game a week at the moment, or every now
Will
and then.
that
so
be
it's good.
interrupted when the season starts, which I believe is happening late August?
Yeah, well, lucky for us at Richmond now, it's a little bit of a shift with the AFLW, but we're now training Monday to Friday,
Right.
and we've got weekends off.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I can
cut
work
into
the
your
weekends.
cocktails and dreams,
Yeah.
Tom.
Hey, I'm a red wine gal. Love my red.
Oh, well, you get down to Maxi Gawn's bar. Where's
Yeah.
that, Loza? Where's
Hawthorne.
Max?
In Hawthorne.
In
Yeah.
Hawthorne. What is? I haven't heard of that.
Yeah,
What's he got?
Yeah.
He's got one down there.
Oh, well, Maxie, if you're listening, give us an invite, please.
I don't think Max is there very often at the moment.
Well, he's in season.
He's in
He's-
season.
Nothing like a Friday Arvo knockoff.
and he's
called
a
East End Wine Bar.
East
East
End
End.
wine bar. And where is it exactly?
Camberwell Junction.
Oh,
around
geez.
that
Oh,
area.
easy.
Beautiful.
It's your drop of choice.
If I'm drinking, which I very
Cocktail?
rarely do, I start every session with a beer.
Oh, fair enough.
I can't not.
So you had one this morning?
I wish. There's something about an ice cold beer.
Yeah.
That just the taste of it.
Get you started.
I can see you salivating.
It's rejuvenating. Beer is life. Dig into it, kids. August 30, Sydney taking on Collingwood at North Sydney Oval. It's a beautiful oval in other news. Sydney, Collingwood. Do the teams generally reflect what's happening in the AFL? They don't, because I know North does really well.
North made grand final.
Yeah, North does really well, so they're not reflecting.
Yeah, no, not really.
of the
Some
men's.
teams do. AFL's just bought in a new prize money for both like for the club that does best across both men's and women's. I think it's about $1 million or something. You might be able to
Jeez.
help us out, Loz. But I think it's so Melbourne. I think last year or the year before they won it. Across both, because both men's and women's are really good. But, Richmond, we might struggle this year, but we'll see.
Why do you think that?
Well, I mean, the men's, obviously, at the start
the
to get the
men's,
whole
sorry.
comp. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Richmond, us, if we can keep a fit list out on the field, then I think we'll do pretty well. We played finals the year before, last year, just got riddled with injuries and had a few things happen. So I think with any luck this year, we can do one
How
better.
many women are on the list?
We've only got 30. So in comparison to men's, what is it? I think about 40 odd or
40
something.
odd, yeah.
And that's the hardest part. If you get some season-ending injuries like your ACLs and
Are you allowed
longer
to draft
term,
people in?
you can, but you have to hit again. Like you have to
have
go through your whole list.
disaster.
Go through your whole list and make sure that everyone can't play before you can get a top-up player.
You've been with your twin sister Jess.
Yes.
For a long time.
Very long time. Well, yeah, obviously.
Early childhood.
Believe it or not. Grew up in the womb together, yes. No. So we grew up together down on the peninsula. We've lived together in Armidale, but now Jess, both of us started at Carlton together, played there for 4 years, and I jumped ship to Richmond. She stayed for a year, so we played each other once before. And then she jumped across to Richmond, and then she got delisted by Richmond last year, and she's now at West Coast. So I know you've...
So she's on the move.
She's on the move. Well, you got the notes about the season opener being Sydney and Collingwood. I don't care about that game.
Yeah, what are you looking
We're
for?
that game too. We're on Friday night over in West Coast against West Coast.
Right.
So, Daisy's first game. I'm calling it the Hosking Cup. I'm asking AFL if we can have a separate set of rules for siblings that play against each other in football. I'm just thinking, I can't wait to smush her head in the grass.
There's a long history of you guys bashing each other in the backyard.
Absolutely,
Well, the Mackay twins play each other for the first time on Sunday night.
And you know
Really?
that crazy? Yeah, no, how many years has it been? 8
They
years
were
or
drafted
something?
in 2015. So
Yeah.
And they've never played.
8 opportunities
Never.
to play each other, and they never have. Yeah.
Jeez.
They've got the big running joke. Are they actually one person? All that kind of stuff. So every year it seems to be that one of them will have a calf injury or one gets managed. The first couple of seasons, wasn't it? They didn't get a chance to play.
Are
One
you
suspension.
guys identical?
We are identical.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
18 teams playing 11 matches in 10 weeks. Now, I know there's been a fair bit of controversy around the draw. Well, you got an 18-team competition playing 11 matches, so you can't all play each other.
Yeah, you missed out. What is it? You missed out on 6 teams or something.
Well, you're missing out on Adelaide, Brisbane, Freo, Gold Coast, St Kilda, Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, not too
So there's
bad.
got
I
to
think.
be there's got to be advantages in who you miss out on.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I don't know how AFL does it. If I looked into it a little bit more, I'm sure it's relatively even. But I think, it's so hard. Every year it changes. I think in the second or third year of AFLW, we had the same problem. Not everyone played each other, but you had Western Bulldogs went from being bottom of the ladder, winning the wooden spoon, and won the premiership the next year. So given AFLW still in such an infancy stage, there's still so much movement, there's still so much change. I think we're starting to see it a little bit more consistent now. And those top teams, you look at your Adelaide, your Melbournes, their teams that are Brisbane as well, all teams that have been there from the very beginning, and they're starting to have that real foundation. And leading the competition, I guess, in the way of performance too. So, our fixture, I think we're pretty happy with it. We also, I think, one of the only teams that don't have a 5-day turnaround.
Well,
so
there's 4-day turnarounds
4 days,
as well.
I mean, yeah.
And there's Tuesday games, 4 Tuesday games, 5 Wednesday games. So if you come off a Wednesday game and then surely to God you couldn't have a game on the Sunday.
That seems too quick.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
you got
there is the
Thursday,
odd team
Friday,
that does.
Saturday. Yeah, there's a 4-day turnaround.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jeez, I'm telling you, I'm 28 now, but I feel like I'm 60. So I'm glad that we're not one of those teams
I'm
because
32.
I'd be managed. Yeah,
Why is everyone laughing at that?
have another beer.
Where do you think the perfect place in the season would be in the calendar for the AFLW season?
Good question. I mean, personally, I don't like playing in the rain as much, so I like being, towards the end of the year. But I think it's so hard. I in an ideal scenario, I'd love for it to match up with the men's at some stage, but then it comes with broadcasting issues. How many games of footy are being played across the same time. It'd be great for clubs to be able to have, like you did back in the day. It was you play your first, your seconds, but you might be
the
able to
curtain
time.
race.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like it. I don't know. Everyone's got a different opinion, but I think the thing that I'd like to see is that it's a bit more consistent. So, which we're seeing again, we're playing the same time that we did last year, but for the first 7 years, every year it's kind of chopped and changed, and you've played across summer, you've played across winter. So for anyone that's actually following along, it's so hard to know when AFLW is.
There were
Changes.
2
Yeah.
seasons in the 1 year, not that long ago.
Yeah.
So it's been confusing.
Yeah, and I guess again for context, where we start in the men's bye week this year as well. So it's when it comes into finals and that sort of thing. That's when the women's comp will start.
Is it possible, and excuse my naivety, are people making a living out of AFLW or are people working around it as well?
Starting to. So we've just done the joint CBA with, obviously the men's as well, but AFLPA have done a great job. I think the tiering systems, or there's still payment in tiering systems, and it's tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. On tier 1, I think you've got 2 players. Tier 2 is about 4 or 5, and then so on. And most of your lists sit in tier 4, which I think probably should have done my research before I jumped on, but it's around about that 50 to 60K mark,
Right.
Or it's equal to a base minimum wage of the men's players as well. But given that it's not full time hours, so you're getting paid pro rata of say hypothetically 20 hours.
Yeah. Because it'd be a challenge to then take on anything other than sort of part-time or casual work around it, because eventually you're going back to your employer and saying, I need 3 months off.
Well, work smarter, not hard. I get paid to talk on a radio.
I love all of that.
But you're spot on. It is. I think there's a number of years there's been a big issue for some of the female players that have struggled to juggle work and playing sport and trying to be as professional as possible. So, little do we have many teachers working anymore, because you go in for a whole term and say, hey, sorry, I can't turn up to work for this term.
Which
and
really
then expect
brings
to come
in
back.
career sacrifice, doesn't it?
Well, I'm sitting at 28 and going, shit, have I stuffed up all my super, or, at what point do you look at long-term career objectives and all that kind of stuff? So
it's very challenging.
Yeah. And then, same thing with the CBA. They've done a great job negotiating. Like now we've got 12-month contracts. Only 2 years ago, we're on part-time contracts. So to go and ask a bank for a mortgage, it's hard enough now, let alone, with a part-time contract saying, give me a loan.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean,
Turn
obviously,
around and
I
laugh
can't
at
imagine
you.
'cause I've done pretty well.
So well.
But that's
Where do you live?
That's not the point. A few places.
The odd castle
You
or
got a
two.
holiday
That we
house?
discussed.
You got a holiday house?
no,
Yeah,
so
I'm looking for
don't get
something.
talked about.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up down on the peninsula. So
Whereabouts?
Mount Martha, Mornington.
Well, you would know the king of the mountain.
Yeah, I grew up
Troy
in
Ellis.
really tough. Oh, Mount Eliza, good.
yeah.
Just around the corner
Just
from
down the
Frankston.
road.
Yeah.
2017 Peninsula Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next to
look
school
out.
down there. It was
Pobs?
great. What's
So
that?
you're a Pobs boy?
Pobs.
Peninsula Old Boys? No?
No,
what school?
no. I didn't play footy.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't.
No, it's not a
Oh,
footy.
your athletic ability.
No,
you
thank
look
you.
like you
My-
should be.
My dad played
Hey,
for a
True
few
centre
games for
His
forward.
dad
Collingwood.
played for Collingwood.
Yeah,
he
right.
plays Twinks, is that what it's called?
Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks. Sorry, I mispronounced.
I was more interested in watching Gilligan's Island. It was a bit cold playing footy.
It's bloody cold playing footy, mate.
I know.
If your head's not in the right place.
I got to the under 9s or under 10s and went, that's it for me. I'm done.
It's too fresh down here.
Far too
Fair
fresh.
enough.
It was fresh.
So you grew up on the peninsula.
Yeah, grew up down there. Still family homes down there. Mum and dad are
Lovely.
down there. So, yeah, use that as much as I can. Get home
course.
half the week and then spend the other week in the city.
It's a beautiful part of the world. Well, it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wishing you
Likewise.
continued success. The draw does seem a little skew-if, but I guess you're stuck with what you're stuck with.
Yeah.
And 11 matches in 10 weeks.
Got to be happy with it.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
what did it grow from? Where did it start?
Started with 8 or
Right.
seven games when there was 8. I don't know, I'm old now. I reckon I've been part of it for 8 years. So,
So you've been there since the start.
the very start, I was lucky enough. I played in the first game.
Erin
The very first
Phillips
game.
overrated?
Controversial.
Oh,
No,
no.
she's not. She's a freak.
Underrated.
Well, yeah, she was a
Not
freak.
what I've heard. And hard work is what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Well, she was never my teammate.
Jeez, you've gone all funny.
Yeah.
You really have.
Throw someone under the bus. I've never seen her like it.
Let's go a little deeper on the Erin story.
Erin Phillips. She's bloody amazing.
Sarah, lovely to meet you. Good luck
too.
with the C's and good luck at the Tigers and good luck with the M's.
Yes, thank you. Hope
Yeah.
she'll be
Continued
back.
success with us. I'm
Yep.
sure you'll be back.
That's
Yeah.
great.
What do you mean? You haven't been on this year?
No, I have. I'm just weasel my way in. Let's get into a few shows and you'll see me more often.
Good.
Yeah.
We look forward to that.
Yeah, this is my full-time job later on once I finish. footy. That's
Absolutely
right.
it is.
Perfect.
Triple M bosses, listen in.
They don't listen, mate, believe me. Couldn't care less.
Otherwise, you'd be out.
Mate, if they were listening, I would have been gone a long time ago. Lovely to meet you, Sarah.
You too, mate.